Come on, don't you know? You're letting all the junk flood in. You can't tell the lies to me because I'll believe it and be a dumbassity. Hey guys, Nitsa Gamer here. And I'm gonna do another stream of this goddamn game because gosh darn it, Persona 4 won't leave me the goddamn alone! Leave me alone, Persona 4! What did I do to you? What did I do to you? Okay. Well, first let's see how many people are gonna appear in the chat. Wait, this is vanilla Persona 4? No, it's chocolate Persona 4. It's chocolate flavored Persona 4. Okay, anyways, April 2011. Okay, let me make sure that my audio is both working. Yeah, it seems like my both desktop and mic audio is still working. Good, good, good. What truths will unravel the case void? But yeah, this is OG Persona 4, baby. More again and again. Consider that it took me like 3 streams to get through Magatsu Inaba and Risei's striptease in the Golden Run. Hopefully all 3 streams is all I need for this. Alright, so let me just quickly crap. Well, not quickly crap, but just quickly excuse me, share the stream to my socials so people know that it's on, because I never planned this. In fact, I was originally going to do my Final Fantasy run, but decided, screw it, people want more Persona, so I'll give them more Persona. More Persona 4 stream. Alright, I think that should be good enough. I don't think anybody really follows my Twitter, so I don't think it's really worth sharing to Twitter. So, let's get started with OG Persona 4. Dum. Hey, Draco Steven, and how to beat Yukiko. Good question. Well, the thing is, I actually have gotten close attempts with Yukiko. Okay, I gotta make sure I select the right file because the last file you played is apparently not the one that gets auto-selected. But yeah, here we go. 17 freaking hours. We might as well have, like, the save play time of getting to Kanji's dungeon at this point. But yeah, I've done attempts against Shadow Yukiko. I don't know if I should show it off, at least show off how much I've done on it, because I don't want to accidentally get the successful attempt during this try. But yeah, anyways, for the entire time, we've been equipping the physical attacks because I've been, you know, getting more physical attacks coming my way. I even tried using the fire suppressor to dodge fire attacks, but it seems like physical attacks are like the more dangerous things. The thing is, I can definitely get close to finishing Shadow Yukiko. I can get to 2/3 of her health while also beating the Charming Prince. The problem is being endurable enough and dodgy enough in order to actually finish her. And unfortunately, my team refuses to finish her, so, don't return. We're just gonna jump in and we're gonna grind an extra level. So yeah, I tried beating Shadow Yukiko multiple times, and while I'm sure I can beat her with enough attempts, the thing is, I don't like doing a bajillion attempts just to prove a fight possible. So even though we're level 19, I'm just going to grind at least one more level to level 20 because I'm pretty sure I can beat Shadow Yukiko at level 11. However, I want to increase my odds a slight bit, so I'm going to grind to level 20, and also get Izanagi up 1 level to level 15, so that way he's at least equal level to Shadow Yukiko. So that's the plan, is to get everyone to level 20 and get Izanagi up to 15. That's pretty much the plan for this stream, for the grind, and here we go. You and Izanagi? Yep, that's the plan. I mean, if you watch the previous streams, which I doubt everyone has, but if you watch the previous streams, yep, that's pretty much what the grind is. Now, I think I pretty much have these floors memorized because I've been grinding hours on these goddamn floors for a long time. I've done 2 streams of it already. So, just gonna grind against these guys because I know I have at least... I know that I at least don't have 99 of their items. Okay, guard. Guard. So yeah, once again, this is a Yu and Izanagi only run on the vanilla version of Persona 4. So this is not the golden version, this is not the version that everybody knows and plays, this is the version that some have played and either moved on to golden, or only a select number actually still prefer the vanilla version over golden. So yeah, I'm throwing my hat into the ring and doing a run on the vanilla version of Persona 4. Because unlike Persona 5, we're just doing it on the Royal version. It's just the better way to do it. I want to at least see if I can do a run on the vanilla version of Persona 4, which is definitely more than doable. Especially since there is a great difference between the vanilla and golden version of Persona 4. There are some differences that actually makes the versions pretty unique. And because of the setup of doing a solo Persona run, like if I was doing a U-only run, but I could use any Persona I want, then this run would actually be pretty darn easy. But because I'm restricted to just Izanagi, it's going to severely limit how much I can do, because A, I cannot buy any attacking items from the shops like I can in Golden, and also I can't... well, equip other personas to use other skills, and while it is possible to evolve skills through something called Arcana Chance, if I get an upright magician card, the only skill that I want to upgrade is Izanagi's physical attack, Cleave. So out of all of Izanagi's attacks, so he has Zio, Cleave, Rakukaja, Rakunda, and Tarakaja. Now, out of all of these, if I have to upgrade any of the buffs or debuffs, maybe upgrading Rakunda to Ma Rakunda might be useful, but ideally I want to try to save it for just one boss, so I don't really want to upgrade my buffs. And since Rakukaja and Tarakaja, since I'm going to be playing the majority of the run with just you only, I want to keep these to just their singular versions. Zio, this can upgrade to Mazio, but Mazio cannot upgrade to Zio or Zionga, so we want to keep this as Zio, but the one skill that we do want to upgrade is Cleave, and apparently we can upgrade this like 5 times. So if by chance we can upgrade Izanagi's skills, we want to upgrade Cleave, essentially. And unfortunately, you can't do skill upgrades through leveling up. Like in some games, you can actually evolve a skill by just simply leveling up. Unfortunately, that is not a feature in Persona 4. You can only level up a skill if you get a magician card in Arcana Chance. Are you going to do any social links? I'm definitely doing the Fox social link for sure. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to not prioritize any of the social links at all. So Yosuke and Chie and pretty much all of my party members, maybe with the exception of Rise, but I'll do more research on that, are all going to stay at rank 1, essentially. The young mother, the only reason she is rank 1 is because I'm mainly doing the part-time job. I'm not doing her social link, I'm mainly doing the daycare job just so I can get my understanding increased, since I need rank 3 understanding to do one of the Fox's social links. Or one of the Fox's requests. I need rank 3 understanding. And on top of that, it's the only daytime, part-time job I can do. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, in terms of the social links, the only reason I'm doing the part-time jobs is simply because they give me money and social stats. Otherwise, the only social link we're really going to prioritize is the Fox, because the more we rank him up, the more we can decrease the amount of SP recovery when we're in the TV world. Victory! And I think we already have like 99 things of Wonderclaws. Let me just double check, because yeah, unfortunately this is literally the final day we can fight Shadow Yukiko, so I can't just jump back to the real world, and yeah. So as you can see, so we can get the power strains from the bronze dice. We can get the black lamps from the ravens, and the wonder cloths from the trans twins. So every single time we fight and defeat the trans twins or the black ravens, we're not gaining any more of their items because we already have 99 of them. So ideally we want to try to fight some of the other enemies that we can fight, so the magic hands and the bronze dice, though the bronze dice might not be a reliable grind source anymore because I want to resist using any SP if possible. But if we have a singular magic hand that we can fight against, then we'll definitely fight against the magic hand because we can still get more of their items. And then the big incenser from the lion habillaries and the idea paper from the calm fish, however you pronounce them, we can get more of their items if we want to. Needless to say, whatever armor that we can craft from those guys, we've either A, already crafted or could craft more. And unfortunately, despite this being the only chest that I have yet to open within this dungeon, I cannot open this because unlike the golden version where floors reset upon revisiting it, it doesn't work in this version. In the vanilla version, the floors stay the same unless you either A, move to the next day or enter another dungeon. So essentially, we can't reset floors until we move on to another dungeon, which is absolute BS. But unfortunately, that's how they designed the vanilla game, and we have to live with its rules. Because yeah, the rules in the vanilla version compared to the golden version are going to differ. There's similarities for sure, but there are going to be restrictions as well as differences when it comes to dungeon crawling. But yeah, for those who are wondering why am I not taking advantage of Arcana Chance, even if I try to, Arcana Chance does not exist at this point of the game. Apparently Arcana Chance does not exist until after you get the second dungeon, apparently. So even if we, successfully do Shovel Time, we can't get Arcana Chance yet. That's just not a feature that is unlocked yet. Okay, I know you guys are commenting more things, but let me just get into another battle so I can at least comment on what you guys are asking. I just want to make sure I don't waste any time because the only point of this stream is to get myself up a level just so I can decrease the amount of attempts I have against Shadow Yukiko, because I can probably beat Shadow Yukiko at level 19, which is where I'm at. It's just the chances of doing so is unlikely. So anyways, I am going for the platinum on Final Fantasy 15. It's a lot more grindy than I expected. I mean, when you're 100% in anything, it's going to be grindy no matter what. How did the Yukiko fight go at level 19? Well, pretty much I've been able to beat the Charming Prince, and I've been able to get rid of 2/3 of her health, but she starts to get aggressive during the last third of her fight, and that aggressiveness is what is currently the biggest roadblock. And while I could theoretically get through it at level 19, the odds are extremely low. So what I'm going to do is essentially grind myself up an extra level as well as my friends up an extra level just so I can slightly increase the odds in my favor, because the more my party members stay alive, the better chance of me surviving. And of course, the more I can endure as well as land hits on her and increase my level to increase my damage scaling, then the better chance I have of being able to defeat her. So yeah, unfortunately, the only method of just getting through these boss fights is to essentially over-level, which sucks, but it is what it is. So those are the Black Ravens, and unfortunately, yeah, Teddy eats them, unfortunately. I got a rubber band on my controller right now because I'm not doing the survival grind legit. That's fair. The TV world is much foggier than golden. That's true. Teddy eats them. Yep, Teddy eats all the items, so he's eating all the black lamps and wonder cloths every single time we get more than 99 of them. Dane Adachi is the only major character with no social link. I wonder what that means. I don't know, I guess they thought he was a boring character and wasn't worth a social link, I guess. Like, Persona traits from Persona 4 or Persona 5 Royal appear in around the second palace. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't appear until, like, the second dungeon or whatever of these Persona games. Like, in Persona 3, it's pretty much, like, if you're playing Reload, it was Elizabeth's request, and it wasn't until you start doing the third part of Tartarus that Theurgies unlock. And then in Persona 3 Fest, you had to complete the first full moon operation in order to get what is it called? The Persona Compendium unlocked. And then you also had to complete the second full moon operation in order to unlock the knockdown tactic, which is a tactic that would have been super useful if you had it at the very beginning, but of course the game doesn't give you it at the very beginning, because the knockdown tactic in Persona 3 Fest is like one of the most useful tactics in the entire game. But yeah, if you were to play like the original Persona 3 or Persona 3 Fest, you actually don't have the compendium unlocked until after you complete the first full moon operation, which means you couldn't register Persona, so any Personas you fused away, unfortunately, if you were to rebuy those Personas from the compendium, you would have to get them from their base starting level. And the same thing with Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, you actually don't unlock the compendium until you get to I think it was Ikebukuro, I think it was called, Ikebukuro, where the mantra is, like, and that comes, like, after the fight against Matador, which is, like, one of the biggest difficulty spikes for first-time players. Yeah, unless I can get a critical on the positive cane is not worthwhile killing. Because, yeah, the only way to kill the positive cane is if I do enough damage with physical crits. And unfortunately, at this point of the game, I just don't have the damage potential to fight the positive canes. Which hopefully I will later on, because I will need to fight against them for a quest later on when I eventually unlock Kanji's dungeon. Yeah, knockdown tactic is the GOAT. Yeah, the knockdown tactic is definitely the most useful tactic in Persona 3 Fest, because essentially it forces your AIs to target the enemy's weakness, and they won't attack the enemies while they're knocked down, because in Persona 3 Fest, any enemies that, or allies that get knocked down, will waste a turn standing up and actually don't get a turn. So you can use the knockdown exploit to essentially cause enemies to repeatedly get back on their feet and never have a turn to attack, which is very handy for some of the Tartarus Guardians, because you can essentially lock them in a state where they just never get a turn to attack. It just sucks that you don't unlock it until way, way later in the game. What is your favorite re-release waifu? Bettis, Katone, Marie, or Violet? And someone says, go outside. Yeah, go outside, Tiger Shark Maxwell. If you have to rely on a waifu, a fictional video game character to satisfy your urges, go outside. Okay, in all seriousness, Metis, I like her fine. She's nothing really complex, but she's a great party member to have, especially when you're playing Episode Aegis. When you play Episode Aegis, she's a really great party member to have. Katone, she's a really great addition to Portable, and really the only reason why you would even want to play Portable at all. There's, like, no reason to go to the Portable version of Persona 3. Like, if you want the direct commands version of Persona 3, play Reload. If you want, you know, the ideal experience of Persona 3 that the developers intended, play Persona 3 Fest. If you want to play a version where you can play as a female protagonist, play Portable. Like, Katone pretty much is the saving grace of the only reason why you would ever want to play the Portable version of Persona 3. And then, let's see, Marie, I don't hate her like other people do. Like, I understand where the Marie hate is coming from, but I do believe she is overhated. I don't think she's really as bad as people make her out to be. And then as for Violet or Kasumi or Yoshizawa, she's absolutely great. She was a great re-release character. And then, yeah, I guess those are the only re-release characters of the Persona series. Also, do 4 Vanilla have the bosses that appear after you beat the shadow boss of the dungeon? Yes, the optional boss fights at the end of the first 6 dungeons do appear as optional boss fights, and they are the exact same optional boss fights you have to fight. So yeah, the Kenchurian Cane at the end of Yukiko's castle does appear at the end of this dungeon, and defeating these enemies will offer some sort of unique equipment that you can gain. So you can gain a weapon for Yukiko when you defeat the Kenchurian Cane, and also when you defeat these optional fights, you can also increase your courage. So because of that, we definitely want to make sure we fight all the optional boss fights, because we definitely need at least 3 points of courage in order to complete the 7th or 8th, I forget what number, request of the Fox, because apparently one of the requests of the Fox requires us to have maxed, or not maxed, level 3 understanding and courage. You need those 3, or those 2 up to 3 in order to progress that rank. And considering that the Fox social link is essentially the most ideal social link to max out as soon as possible, then yeah, you bet we're gonna try to get courage and understanding up to rank 3. Expression is completely useless for this run, because expression is only required to rank up Dojima and Nanako's social link, and we're just not gonna bond with them at all. But yeah, as you can see right now, I've only got my knowledge stat up to rank 2. So we definitely want to max our knowledge, because the sooner we max our knowledge, the sooner we can gain rewards from Nanako, Dojima, and some of the teachers, which will definitely help us in this run. And especially the rewards from Nanako in particular is definitely going to help us, because she can give you an accessory that increases your stats by 5, like all 5 of your stats by 5 points. And for a run where Izanagi is going to be lagging behind in levels, that's going to be incredibly useful. And oh my god, why am I getting a bunch of these knights to appear? Or the canes to appear? And if I can't beat one of them, then I'm definitely not going to be able to defeat 2 of them. If I had any insta-killing light items, which I don't, then I could kill them, but I can't. Let's see. So basically, we are a glass cannon. We can do enough damage, but can endure or evade it enough. For the fight against Shadow Yukiko in particular, pretty much we can endure it fine for the most part, though we'd still take, like, you know, half our HP bar away. We are taking a lot of damage, and while we have the Falcon's Eye accessory equipped, we do have a chance of being able to dodge physical attacks. Okay, can I beat these guys in one shot? No, we can't. Okay, so we definitely have to escape. So if we get, like, one encounter with these guys, then we could definitely defeat them. If we can defeat at least one of those guys, that would actually be really, really good. Unfortunately, I don't think floor 6 is going to be a reliable grind at all. I think these enemies are just way too bulky for us to handle. If we happen to get Phantom Mages, we could definitely beat them without taking damage, because I had to grind against the Phantom Mages in order to get this katana, which took like several hours long because of how rare they spawn. Okay, these guys, no chance. No chance. The Burning Beetles repel physical damage. So yeah, pretty much every single enemy on floor 6 is a no-go, pretty much. Except for maybe the Magical Magus, if we get one of them. Though the chances of us just getting one of them seems to be unlikely. Like, I'll explore around and see if I can get at least one of them to spawn, but I'm not counting on it. Oh my god. The rare time the Phantom Mage actually freaking spawns. Are you serious right now, game? Okay, so we just guard. get rid of the Black Ravens, and don't mind the Phantom Mage. The only thing they do is inflict fear. So because my party members are guarding, they will never be inflicted with fear. And if he inflicts me, I can still get uninflicted with fear. So I'm totally safe from this. So I'll eventually get uninflicted from fear. So it's only a matter of time before I can attack again. So yeah, the Phantom Mages are a reliable source of grind, and I can't believe I managed to even get them in this attempt. Like, wow. 23. So yeah, I don't even gain much from them. And I didn't even get the item drop from him. Frick you, game. Frick you. Ugh, jeez, okay. Sorry guys, I'm falling behind on your comments here. I wonder if they make Saki's TV World dungeon more of a dungeon in 4 Revival, either for the story or like an extra dungeon. That would actually be interesting. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe they had more variety to the TV World. Like maybe there's some optional dungeons you can explore to essentially just pad out the game time. Like that would actually work out somewhat fine, actually, if they did that. Like, they pad out the game time by essentially giving you optional dungeons to explore in the TV world. That would actually be interesting, though how they can pull that off, I don't really know. Now, I know I should be going back to floor 6, but I'm just going to continuously walk around floor... Or go back to floor 5, but I'm just going to continuously walk around floor 6 for a while, just to see if I can get another Phantom Mage fight, because, yeah. Beetles, run. No chance of fighting these guys at all. I think Violet and Maruki are the best handled re-release story-wise. Maybe Saki's Dungeon could be New Game Plus. Best Atlas re-release content was the 5 Kalpas and Nocturne. Almost everything they added in Vengeance. Yeah, and even some of the stuff they added in Royal, sure, it makes the game easier, you know, gameplay-wise, but story-wise, it was definitely very worth it. The story of Royal was definitely really good, and the third semester content is definitely a really great ending to an overall great game. God damn it, crit already. I'm just hoping that I can land a critical on one of these guys, so that way I can at least kill 2 of them in one shot, but... yeah, of course, the game is not going to give me that luxury. Okay, I should probably make it back to floor 5, because at least I know I can grind there. I'm just wasting time. Fun fact, out of Persona 3, 4, 5, and 4, P4, P4 is the only one where no one leaves the party once they join. Good point. Yoko is the best re-release character, though I don't know if she counts since the devs confirmed she was intended for the original game. Well, I mean, she wasn't in the original game, so yeah, she does count as a re-release character. I mean, just because the character was scrapped and then later re-added does not mean they weren't a re-release character. She's definitely a re-release character because she was never released in the original game. So even if she was like a character that was scrapped for the final game... she still counts as a re-release character. Oh, okay, good. So we'll defeat the Black Ravens first, and then go after the Phantom Mage. And as long as my party is guarding, we can never be attacked. Okay, hopefully we can actually get a... Why am I getting better luck getting Phantom Mages here than I was when I was grinding against them originally? Like, seriously. What is with your runs in this game and not doing Nanako's Social Link? What do you mean? I've always did Nanako's Social Link. I did her Social Link both in the original and New Game Plus run of the Damageless run, and that's the only Persona 4 run that I've done. But in this run, the U-only run, yes, I won't be doing Nanako's Social Link because I'm going to be prioritizing fishing and raising my social stats and such. More particularly the ones that I need in order to progress my character as efficiently as possible, because Because, yeah, I'm mostly passing time either going fishing or doing part-time jobs to raise money because I need lots and lots of money in this run if I'm going to have a chance against the later boss fights and being able to get a lot of SP recovery and HP recovery items. But no, I did Nanako Social Link in both my runs. In both the new game and New Game Plus run. Okay, I can attack the heat balance physically, right? Yeah, I can. Okay, I can definitely beat this thing. Let's do it. Yes! Okay, that's my first time beating the heat balance. And I get the golden dish. Okay. Actually, how much of the golden dish is required for... Hold on. Repel physical in the first dungeon is crazy, yeah. I like how the UI for the ailment for 4 looked. Streamer's luck, you didn't help her with her homework. Well, that's because she was a detriment in me being able to do the run efficiently. And besides, it's in character for me to not help her with her homework because that's what true siblings do in real life. They don't help their siblings and instead tell them to suffer. That's just how it is. Okay, let me just check... check the site here. So golden dish. Okay, so golden dish is a material that can be sold. You can unlock a particular weapon. So, okay, so we gotta get 10 of these apparently in the original, and 6 of these in golden. But who is this for? Hold on. Okay, so what is this particular weapon that unlocks? So the Nanman Gasuku. What is it? This is a, shit, where is it? Oh my god, why are people calling me now? Now's not a good time. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to take this call. Alright, hopefully I don't get copyright claimed over the goddamn results screen music. Thank you, parents, for wasting my time. But anyways, so we got the golden dish and... Okay, so we got the golden dish and I quickly looked it up to see if grinding this particular item is worth it. So not how Bananako means Adachi gets stronger. Well, I mean, Adachi gets stronger even if we don't do much bonds. But considering that in this kind of run, for an Izanagi run, doing social links in general is kind of pointless. The only worthwhile social link of doing is the Fox. But yeah, so I quickly looked it up as I was just doing some last minute thing. Yeah, we don't really need to get the... golden dishes. So the golden dishes, we need 10 of them in order to fuse an item that gives Chie a better weapon. So it's essentially just shoes, essentially. We just give her better shoes. Ooh, yes, okay, we can defeat these guys now. Frick, yes. Guard. Guard. Haha, yes. Okay, but yeah, the golden dishes from the heat balance is not worth it. It only gives me a weapon for GA, and that's it. Now, as for the supple metal, I don't know. And let me just see. Supple metal. Let's see. Now, is this even worth a grind? Let me just see. Is a material that can only be sold for money. So, selling 10 of these things, or 4 in the golden version, will give me the 4 iron for sale. And the 4 iron, let's see. Oh, apparently this is a weapon that we can purchase for the protagonist. However, I think this is actually an inferior weapon compared to the katana we have. So apparently this particular weapon gives us 71 attack and 94 accuracy. And I think the current weapon we have equipped... Yeah, what we have equipped is superior. So yeah, the 5 iron knuckle, if we fight the magical magus, is only 71 attack, 95 accuracy, and no passive ability. So so the katana is automatically better. So this gives us the best attack, the best hit rate, as well as +3 agility. So we have the best armor equipped. So yeah, we don't really need to bother fighting the heat balance or the magical magus at all. We don't really need to bother with them at all for this run. Okay. If there was an option to recruit someone from school and join the team, who would you choose? Naoki, Ai, Ko, Daisuke, are those two? Honestly, the only one that would actually make the most sense to fight alongside us would be Naoki, because at least Naoki, he's at least investigating, you know, who killed his sister, so it would definitely be a lot more personal for him compared to, say, Yosuke, where Yosuke just saw her as a crush. Like, it would definitely be very personal if Naoki was to face up against his killer, or his sister's killer. Though, honestly, unlike Yosuke, who was able to spare the killer, I don't think Naoki would spare the killer. He would definitely do whatever he can to kill his sister's killer. He would probably be the more interesting character to join alongside the party. As for the others, I don't know. I just don't see them as being battle-worthy. I mean, they're great as social links, but as party members, not really, honestly. At least 70-something EXP from the balance is nice. I mean, I suppose so. I think Naoki makes more sense than anybody else. Yeah, story-wise, he makes more sense. Though, honestly, he functions fine as a social link. And the fact that he doesn't join the party is honestly also fine, because it's just too much of a coincidence if everybody that's involved with the plot happens to be joining your party. Okay, I am quite confident we can't beat the bronze dice anymore. Yeah, we can't beat the bronze dice anymore unless we land a critical. Now, while I could use Zio, I don't want to waste my SP, because there's a chance that SP usage might come in handy against Shadow Yukiko, because I did find myself on some attempts using buffs and debuffs to buff my attack and debuff the enemy's defense and such. Oh, how did that enemy not notice me? Am I seriously that over-leveled? Well, at least doing the plundering for, like, whatchamacallit, the quest items later on is definitely going to be easy. Because, yeah, once Kanji's Dungeon's available, I'm definitely going to plunder for quest items first. Save outside of the Kenshiro and Kane fight, since, well, the butterfly is just there for us to save. And then after that, it's going to be pretty much us getting through Shadow Kanji's dungeon. The only difference now is that we can't rely on meat shields once we beat Shadow Yukiko. Once Shadow Yukiko is beated, we'll be able to put both Yosuke and Chie in the backlines when we unlock Yukiko as a party member. So once we have Yukiko as a party member, we'll be able to put everyone in the backlines and have a true solo run. But unfortunately for this particular run, we cannot do a true solo run until, well, after Shadow Yukiko is defeated. And yeah, doing hacks to just hack them out of the party and have you only, that just feels like cheating for me if I'm going against the intended game design. I mean, one of the runs I'm doing is Final Fantasy 1, if you've been watching the streams for it, Final Fantasy 1 with a Black Mage only, and the thing is, I couldn't do a true solo run since the game forces you with 4 party members. However, by doing the first battle and having my 3 party members get killed and then have the Black Mage finish the remaining enemies off, I can essentially do the rest of the run with my party members permanently KO'd because they never revive themselves with like 1 HP like they do in Persona, and they stay dead throughout the entire fight unless I take them to a church and intentionally revive them. And since reviving party members is a deliberate action, then it's pretty much impossible to break the rules otherwise, and that way I can do a true solo run. And why am I getting more positive keys on this goddamn floor? Like, yeah, I know I need to, I know I need to get their materials and such, but I can't really fight against them. They resist physical and they repel electric, so I can't really fight the positive keys. God damn it. If I had like an AoE fire item, that would be fine, but even then I probably don't want to waste it. That's a good question, though. Would you be able to forgive someone who killed your friend or close family member? I could definitely tell you I would not. I would definitely not hesitate to kill them. Why should a killer have to live while someone who definitely didn't deserve to die died, you know? I definitely would not hesitate to kill a killer. Especially if it's a close friend, a lover, or family member. Like, I would not hesitate to kill them. There's no amount of humanity or morality that would prevent me from doing so. God can judge me all he fucking wants. Fuck God, I would kill the killer. Okay, finally we get an encounter I can fight. You get to go first. Just make sure we guard with everybody and don't accidentally run away from battle. So yeah, we're pretty much just gaining EXP at a snail's pace. So let's see how much EXP we gained so far, because unfortunately I had like a couple of distractions in the middle of the stream. Yeah, so we're not even halfway through the grinding, but we're getting there, we're getting there. Essentially, the plan just for this stream is just to get everyone up 1 level to level 20, and also get Izanagi up to level 15 before I do another attempt against Shadow Yukiko. Essentially, I'm just pushing them to that extra level just so I can have that chance, essentially. Because I think I do have a chance against Shadow Yukiko if I were to do multiple attempts at level 19. It's just, I really don't want to do a bajillion re-attempts just so I can prove one fight possible. If I can grind an extra level to increase my odds, then I'd rather take that chance. I mean, yeah, I'm already spending hours just getting to the next level, but you know what? The whole point of this game is for me to grind to level 99 anyway if I'm doing a solo run, so regardless, I'm gonna have to level up regardless. And just wasting, you know, several hours on one boss fight compared to spending several hours just getting levels, you know, the latter is definitely gonna be more ideal, if anything. I am talking about the Naoki situation that we talked about before. Oh yeah, I'm aware. Come on, turn around, and around, and around, and around, and around, around, around. Yes, you go. Round, around you go. And here's a new butt crack. I face out, and I holding out, and I reaching out to the truth. All my life seeking the seas. I am better than C's, and better than the Phantom Thieves, oh yeah. Bro would shoot God in the face, Persona 5 style, over having second thoughts. Pretty much, yep. Yeah, a good chunk of this grinding is pretty much just nothing but defeating low-leveled enemies as we slowly but surely level up. But yeah, at this point, we might as well turn it into a grind to level 99 run in the first dungeon. Which, hell no, I am never going to do that. I would never do that at all. Blood is still at Yukiko's castle, yep. Are you still trying to reach level 99? Fuck no. Fuck no. Do you think I'm that insane? No. I'd rather take my chance with whatever size cert is than grind to level 99, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm currently level 19. I did attempts against Shadow Yukiko at level 19, and I managed to get like 2/3 through her health bar while also being able to defeat the Charming Prince with a little bit of good luck. But that's the thing, is that a lot of it relies on luck and us being able to dodge rather than just tank attacks. So I'm just doing a stream where I grind up an extra level just so I can get everyone to level 20 and Izanagi to level 15, just so I can stand at least a better chance. So currently, we're just under 1,000 EXP to level up to the next level, but essentially we're going to get everyone to level 20 just so they can endure the most amount of damage. And then for Izanagi, we're going to make sure he gets to level 15 so that way he can at least hopefully increase that endurance of his, because god damn it, your endurance is so low, Izanagi. But also hopefully get more magic and strength onto him so that way he can at least deal more damage. But essentially, the higher level that you and Izanagi is, the more damage we can give and the more damage we can endure or possibly dodge. Tevin did it first. Is this Izanagi only run? Is this the Izanagi only run? You know, you can only you can just ask the question once, you know. But now this is the vanilla version of Persona 4. This is the vanilla version of Persona 4. And the entire run is essentially doing the entire game with just you and Izanagi only. You and Izanagi only, so pretty much those are the only characters that I'm essentially using, You and Izanagi only. And the only reason that Chie and Yosuke are on my team is because, well, the game gives me no choice but to have them in my party for the first dungeon. But once I get Shadow Yukiko in my party and I'm able to access Kanji's dungeon, then the game will allow me to throw party members in reserve, and that's when the true solo run begins. So essentially I'm using my friends as meat shields for this first dungeon, and then afterwards the rest of the game I'm doing a true solo run where I go through the entire game with just you only and Izanagi. And unfortunately, a good chunk of the game is going to rely on over-leveling, but also making sure that we grind against specific enemies to make sure we get the best possible armor or equipment from that dungeon so we can make you as endurable and as and give the most amount of damage as possible. So right now, I do have the best armor and weapon equipped onto you, but even at level 19, against Shadow Yukiko, who is level 15, is plausible, but definitely not enough for us to defeat Shadow Yukiko. So the reason why I'm grinding an extra level is because, well, damage scaling is a thing in this game, and the higher level you are, the more damage you do, and you know, the lower level you are, the more damage you take and such, and, you know, vice versa and all that. Like, unfortunately, that's a thing in these old games, is damage scaling. Damage scaling, in my opinion, is definitely a very bad game design. But it's kind of a blessing in disguise for a run like this, because that means the higher level we are, even if it takes us hours to get to that level, the higher level we are, then the more attacks we'll be able to do, and the more attacks we can endure. So yeah, once we eventually get to the fight against Izanami, once we get to the final boss fight, we're definitely going to need to make sure that we're at level 99 and get as much stat upgrades onto Izanagi as possible, because the only way to get Izanagi stats to appear is through Arcana Chance, and Arcana Chance is something that is exclusive to the vanilla version of Persona 4. And then there's the guy that reached level 99 in Kingdom Hearts 1 on Destiny Islands. Yeah, I watched that video, and dude, you gotta be freaking insane. I would not do that. Like, I spent hours just getting to level 6 on Destiny Islands. It's like, dude, how? Yeah, nope. That's a definite nope. I am definitely not grinding against Avenger Knight. Same can be said about level 99 in Kingdom Hearts 2, as Rox is in the simulated Twilight Town. The best part of a challenge run is getting creative, but the variety I see here is using items unless we can level up a skill. Unfortunately, we cannot gain any healing skills on Izanagi. If we were playing the golden version, we would be able to use skill cards, and we would be able to automatically get the Dia skill card from Chagall Cafe onto Izanagi, and we could actually have a way of being able to heal all the time. Otherwise, the only way of increasing Izanagi's skills is through magician cards. But unlike the golden version, where magician cards were just rare to have, magician cards appear through Arcana Chance. But considering that any type of item or any type of major arcana can appear through Arcana Chance, there is a low chance of us being able to get the magician card. And then there's the coin flip of whether or not if it's upright or downright. If it's downright, then our skill downgrades, or a random skill on a random persona downgrades. And if it's upright, then a random skill on a random persona upgrades. But as long as we only have Izanagi in our stock, then the effect will always go to Izanagi. But essentially, Arcana Chance, we gotta hope that we always get upright cards through cards that increase our stats. So there's like 4 different Arcanas that increases our stats. So like the Strength card, I think affects magic. The Justice card, I think affects strength. And then the Hangman card affects endurance. The Luck card affects luck. Or no, the Fortune card, I mean, affects luck. And the Agility, what was the Agility card? I forget what card affects agility, but essentially we got to hope that we get an upright card, because essentially it's a coin flip when we do Arcana Chance. If it's downright, we lose a stat, and if it's not that far off from when we last saved, we definitely want to reload our last save, because losing a stat can be pretty darn detrimental. But if we get an upright card, we can gain between 1 to 3 stats, essentially. Okay, I'll have to be right back, guys. I gotta help someone out outside. So hopefully I don't get copyright claimed for the victory music here, but I gotta check on someone outside, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Just had to quickly help someone out. Okay, so let's see. How hard is it to level up in Persona 4? It's not hard to level up. It just takes a long time if you are fighting against under-leveled enemies, because you gain less EXP the more over-leveled you are. Now, the fortunate thing is that once we're able to put party members in reserve, we actually will be gaining all the EXP, because unfortunately we're sharing the EXP with our party members, we're sharing the EXP with our friends, essentially. So our friends are unfortunately hogging up some of our hard-earned EXP, but once we're able to put everyone reserve and we're able to do the rest of the run with just you only, we can actually gain all the EXP. Not just that, but later in the game, especially in the late game, there is a particular equipment that we can gain from the guy near the fishing that can actually increase our EXP gain by 50%. So there is a way of increasing our chances of getting to a higher level sooner than later, which is definitely going to be great, because once we get to, like, you know, level 90, it's going to be a long time before we can actually get ourselves eventually to level 99. And unfortunately for a run like this, we definitely need to get to level 99 if we're going to have a chance against the final boss fight. Jeez. I watched a guy stream getting to level 99 in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and Birth by Sleep. Still not if he has the mental fortitude or is crazy. No idea, but I would never do it. I do agree with that. That's why I find low-level runs interesting. You use of the skills that you never think of using, because by that time you're a higher level, you get better. Yeah. He's gone. Quick spam. Okay, I am gonna ban you, Patty Murphy. I am so gonna ban you for even mentioning those numbers. You want to know something? At my time, numbers 6 and 9 were funny, and that should be the funny numbers from now on and forever. Those should be only the funny numbers, you son of a bitches. Oh, your generation makes me so angry. Yes, I'm facing out and I'm holding out and I'm reaching out to the truth. All my life seeking the sea. The sea sucks and the Phantom Thieves suck, oh yeah. With the investigation team gonna investigate crimes instead of the apathy syndrome or the crimes of the government times. This is all personal, so it's very special to us. We're gonna fight all these crimes and seek justice. We're gonna find a killer and make him live behind bars. And we'll make him live a life where everybody's gonna use his little hole with butter and... Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just continue on with the run. I have gone crazy, guys. Every time I reach for the truth, I could find out that I am not tall enough. It doesn't matter how big you are. What matters is how you use it. I gotta remember that I have water. All I'm doing is having a espresso frap and a Pepsi Cola, essentially. Or a Pepsi vanilla, essentially. Sorry, no, that's not what it's called. It's a Pepsi cream soda. That's what I'm having. I need healthier options and actually have water. Are you crazy? Do you know how many electrolytes are in that water? Yeah, I don't get the numbers that should not be mentioned thing myself. I think the whole point of it is just because it's random and because randomness automatically equals funny to younger generations for some reason. Like, yeah, randomness can be fun. Randomness can be funny, but there's got to be a better punchline than just a bunch of numbers. Seriously. Like, yeah, I'm all for random humor. I am all for random fun. But, yeah, those numbers are just not funny whatsoever. Okay, these guys... They nullify every single move except for wind. So the laughing table is not ideal. I've been able to defeat this thing once because it has only 20 HP, so a singular wind item is enough to defeat them. However, I don't have a wind item on me. I only have a curse paper, smart bomb, one thing of ice cube, and one thing of firecracker. That's it. So they nullify every single attack except for wind attacks, so we always want to run from these tables. Excuse me. So yeah, I've only been able to defeat the tables once, and that's because at the time I did have at least one thing of a wind item to defeat them at least once. Otherwise, every single time we come across those tables, we have to run. Now, I don't recall or remember if a quest item revolves around us being, like, having to defeat those tables, but if so, then all we need to do is just go between Kanji's dungeon and Yukiko's castle until we can eventually get a wind attacking item. I did a Google search on the origin of the numbers that should not be mentioned trend, and it's very underwhelming. It was disappointing how boring the origin story is. I lost a book. I have nobody else but my shelf to blame. I see you played some Last of Us, buddy. Which, yeah, I've actually done at least one Last of Us video. No, I've actually done some streams as well as a Last of Us review on this channel. Unfortunately, my review on The Last of Us has been severely underviewed, but I do have a review of the first Last of Us game on this channel. So if you want to see my review on The Last of Us, I actually do have it on this channel if you want to check that out. Is 420 an okay funny number? I mean, I guess it's a fine funny number. I mean, I'm not one that 420s, but it's a fine funny number, I guess. Not as funny as 69, in my opinion. Maybe sometimes every day isn't that great at your June-ass. Nope. Especially since it's not June at all, it's May. Or technically at the end of April in the game, but yeah. Clever. Will you be doing all quests? I'm not sure about every single quest, but I will be doing the vast majority of them. I mean, especially the Fox quest, but I will be doing the majority of the quests because at least it gives me a reason to grind more. And on top of that, if I do the quest, then that's giving me more items that I can just get for free, essentially. And not to mention, one of the quests with the old lady on the along the riverside can actually increase my social stats if I complete her quest. And one of the quests tied to the teacher, the history teacher, can actually give me a full SP restorative item, which might actually come in handy for like the last remaining boss fights in the game. So yeah, I will be doing the quests because they will definitely help me in a run like this. They're more beneficial to go out of my way to complete them than to ignore them. And plus, it at least gives me an excuse of grinding without necessarily feeling that bored. Either I just grind mindlessly against enemies I don't care about until I eventually get the levels I need, or I can make it a priority to complete the quests I need to complete. And if I complete the quests I need to complete while getting the items for them, then essentially I can grind for a reason, so I can level up while grinding and completing quests. And on top of that, I can also grind for the materials that I need in the current dungeon I am in to get the best possible weapon and armor piece onto my main character, because the sooner I can get the best armor piece and weapon onto my main character, then the sooner I can either defeat the boss within the very dungeon I'm doing, or have the best possible equipment for the next dungeon. She fell in love with an astronaut, but he wanted space. What are we talking about? Are we talking about Last of Us? I've seen people discuss what if Saki is rescued in time and became a party member, but if that happened, the game would be over. Even if they gave her amnesia, her death was the reason why Namatame. So yeah, Yeah, if Saki was rescued, then she would be able to say that Adachi did it, and suddenly the whole thing would be over. The only mystery left to solve is, of course, who the conductor behind everything in the game is. Like, that would be the only mystery left to solve. But I think at that point of the game, I don't think the team would actually be ready to investigate that, and they wouldn't be strong enough to face up against Izanagi to begin with. Ooh, okay. Okay, so grinding against red enemies means we get one of these guys, so we have a reliable way of grinding against the Magic Magus, who gives us 40 EXP. Okay, so that's very worthwhile. So whenever we see a red shadow, they're definitely worth going out of our way to get. So yeah, we gotta pray for the RNG gods we get more red shadows, because that means we can get more EXP, as well as materials that we haven't even grinded for. Unfortunately, that means I'm getting inferior equipment, but hey, it's better than nothing. Because at least all the materials I'm selling is getting us money. Because unfortunately, the more we grind against the more we grind against the Trance Twins or the Black Ravens, we're not gaining any more money other than what money we're gaining in the immediate battle. Because yeah, we've grinded so much that we're now over 100,000 yen, which is definitely more than what's expected at this point of the game. Despite that, I am still going to prioritize doing the part-time job, or the daycare part-time job, as well as the part-time jobs at the hospital, and maybe the tutor student, it depends. But if not, I'm probably going to prioritize doing a lot of fishing, because fishing is definitely going to be very handy in this run, because since planting vegetables is not a thing in the original version, doing a lot of fishing is definitely what's going to be required in order to get the materials we need. Now, there's actually two ways that we can actually get bait in this game, because in the original game, you only had like one source of bait. Essentially, in Golden, you had multiple types of bait that would be a dice roll between one of two different fish. But in the vanilla version, one sort of bait is apparently a bait that can potentially capture all types of fish, essentially. So it's actually harder to capture the Guardian in the original version. But yeah. 420 is Fire Emblem Day. I think the birthday of the big evil historical figure. I wouldn't know, because I haven't played enough of Fire Emblem. I mean, I played some of Fire Emblem Awakening, but I've never been in the game. I mean, I definitely played enough to know the Lucina twist and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, I've never beaten Fire Emblem Awakening, but I played enough of it to, again, know the Lucina twist. I definitely need to somehow replay that game again. I don't know if I can just replay it on the 3DS or something, because I don't even know where my 3DS is. I might have to buy a 3DS and just play the 3DS games from the start. That, or maybe invest in some sort of 3DS emulator or something and maybe do some 3DS games. That would actually be nice. It'd be nice to be able to do like the Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time 3D versions or whatever of challenge runs, or A Link Between Worlds and such. And considering A Link Between Worlds had the advantage of giving us multiple dungeons that we can do in any order, that would actually be kind of interesting, like going with what dungeon would actually be the most useful for what scenario and such. Some of the best humor is grounded in real-life events. For example, a friend of mine tried starting his car on the day when it was negative 40 Fahrenheit outside to see if he'd get lucky. The seats shattered. Well, darn. Saki gets saved, Adachi confronted, and he slaughters you and Yosuke. Well, darn. No great vegetables? Yep, unfortunately, there's no great vegetables in this run. Unfortunately, all those great vegetables is exclusive to the Golden version. So yeah, the feature to plant stuff and grow stuff is exclusive to the Persona 4. And it's funny how vegetable growing is something that is in the base version of Persona 5, and yet in Persona 3, it's something that they introduced in the Reload version. Like, what is it with Atlas and their obsession of having vegetables grow as a source of like HP and SP management. It's kind of interesting how this is a thing that they're obsessed with either their re-releases or introducing them in, well, Persona 5. It's in both Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, but in Persona 4 and Persona 3, they were not in their original versions or the portable version, but it was introduced in Persona 4 Golden, and then it was added in Persona 3 Reload. Like, for some reason, they have an obsession with growing vegetables in a garden for some reason. Like, when I saw that, you know, growing vegetables in a garden was a feature in Persona 3 Reload, all I can think of, oh, they want to actually add this feature because it's something that is included in the Golden version of Persona 4, as well as a feature in Persona 5 in general. They want to try to make it as close to Persona 5 as possible, essentially. Not that I'm complaining or anything. I mean, having an extra source of SP management or being able to cure ailments still is great and goes a long way with helping dungeon progression in Tartarus. So I'm not complaining that it's a feature that exists. And it's definitely convenient in Persona 4 Golden because not only is it required to complete some quests, but it's also a great source of SP management, as well as being able to cure ailments or block insta-kill attacks, or being able to have a free use of Tetrakarn and Makarakarn. And it was definitely incredibly useful for my damageless run of Persona 4 Golden. And I definitely needed to harvest a lot of Barrier Corn in order to get Tetrakarn and Makarakarn in order to fight up against Shadow Margaret, and also be able to fight up against Kunino Sagiri, especially in the New Game Plus run.
You can attack before them.
Thanks, man. I made it myself. Okay, I see what your picture is. Okay, so we're getting closer to at least getting to the next level. So once again, I'm only grinding just to get to level 20 with everyone and get Izanagi up to level 15, just so I can increase the damage scaling against Shadow Yukiko. We essentially want to increase our scale more so that way we can decrease the amount of attempts it takes to defeat Shadow Yukiko. And if for whatever reason she still takes more than dozens of attempts at level 20, I can always do another stream where we grind to level 21. And hopefully that's more than enough, because Jesus Christ, having to grind, 5 levels over Shadow Yukiko is still ridiculous. But yeah, thankfully it will be easier in later dungeons, because not only do we have the Fox for SP recovery, so we can continuously use Zeo and use SP whenever we want, but we'll also be able to do everything with just you only, which means all the EXP is going towards him and not our party members. So once we get to a point where we're just gaining minuscule EXP, at least that EXP is all going towards the one party member we want to level up. There's a reliable way for emulation is to get Citra, then type Majora's Mask 3D ROM into Google. Well, right now I'm not concerned about doing 3DS emulation. Like, I actually did download a Nintendo DS emulator and try to play Super Mario 64 DS not too long after I released my Super Mario 64 challenge run, which, by the way, if you guys have not seen my Super Mario 64 challenge run, please check that out. It's like my most recent upload that I uploaded on this channel, and it's definitely a challenge run that, in my opinion, well, it's not a gameplay limitation, it was still a very interesting challenge run nonetheless. It's pretty much a Super Mario 64 with a visual limitation, but the camera is like always on a tripod, essentially. Definitely check that out, because god damn it, I wish my non-Persona content would get more views. And yeah, I can definitely say I want to start doing more non-Persona content. Like, I'll definitely say when it comes to Persona content, this current run that you're seeing right now, Persona 4 U and Izanagi only, is going to be the next challenge run coming out of Persona for me. Otherwise, I'm going to try focusing on some non-Persona content. So I'm doing a run on Final Fantasy 1 and 10. Yes, critical. Thank you so much, you. So I'm doing a run on Final Fantasy 1 and 10. And I'm also doing a run on Metaphor ReFantazio And also, I'm going to be scripting a small, short video on Death Stranding. And I know my Death Stranding video is not going to get a lot of views, but that's why it's going to be a short video. So I have a short video that is currently in the making for Death Stranding. So when that video comes out, can you guys please watch it? Just please watch it, even if you're not interested in Death Stranding. I would truly appreciate knowing that my work actually goes into even some of the other videos that are not Persona related. So yeah, I definitely plan to release a Death Stranding video sometime soon. It's definitely going to be a short video, and it's definitely going to be on something that, as far as I can tell, is a topic that has not been talked about yet. And it should be a topic that should not spoil the game for you if you don't want spoilers on Death Stranding. Does Teddy have a different voice actor here? Apparently he does. I thought it was the same voice actor and they just redid his lines for Golden, but no, apparently, yeah, Teddy, I mean, it's not just Chie that has a different voice actress between Vanilla and Golden. Also, Teddy has a different voice actor, and because, well, they have extra lines for the, you know, Marie content and third semester content, yeah, Teddy has a different voice actor, apparently. So yeah, if you notice that the voice lines between the Golden version and Vanilla version sound different, that's because they are. It actually is two different voice actors voicing Teddy between the Vanilla and Golden version. So it's not just Chie that has a different voice actor. Your fight against Margaret was fun to watch. Glad you got it on your first try during a live stream. I think the reason it went so well was you talking out loud helped keep your focus. Yeah, possibly. I don't think it's necessarily the focus that got me through the fight. I think it was just me having attempts on my own, figuring out how to do the fight efficiently and just kind of going for it, essentially. You know, you could manipulate what stats your persona gets when leveling up. Just save your game before leveling up, and if your persona doesn't get the stats you like, just reload any time. I don't know if that works or not. I don't know if that's how it works in this game. I mean, if that's how it works in this game, then that would actually be great to manipulate that, because I definitely want to at least manipulate strength and endurance to go up if I can. Unfortunately, I don't think manipulating my luck stat is really going to help all that much. But if I can increase my strength, endurance, and agility, that would be great. But I think before I even consider going back to the entrance, I'm just going to continuously grind until all three of my party members get to level 20. So once all three of my party members get to level 20, then I'll edge Izanagi. I know that sounds wrong when I say that, but when I edge Izanagi close to the next level, I can just save at the entrance, go back, and yeah, if that stat manipulation does work, then yeah, I'll definitely take advantage of that. Because if that's actually a thing that exists, then I would love to take advantage of that. But if that's not a thing that exists, then yeah, I won't be taking advantage of that. Rise also has a new VA. Does she? Does she have a different voice actor between Vanilla and Golden? Teddy sounds like Billy from Grim Adventures here. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know because I don't know what that is. Yeah, that bronze dice is definitely doable if I can get a critical hit on it, but of course I didn't. Hello, Steam Power Dolphin. How you doing? So yeah, I think that's going to be the plan, is to get my party members up to level 20 and then just get Izanagi close to the next level. And if what Matijestefanek, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, is correct, if I can actually manipulate what stats increase, then I can definitely re-roll the dice until I eventually get strength, endurance, and agility to level up. Because if that's the case, then that would actually be very useful. That would actually be very useful if I can use RNG manipulation to increase the stats that I want on Izanagi. If that's an actual thing in this game, then yeah, I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. But I don't even know if that's a thing, or if particular stats are guaranteed to level up at every level. Like, I don't know how it works, but if it does work exactly like you say, then yeah, I definitely will take advantage of that.
Now's your chance to run.
Because if I can at least beat Shadow Yukiko at level 20 without having to level up even more, I want to take that chance. It works in Persona 3P. Every level up gives you different stats, so worth a shot. Okay, I guess we can investigate and see if different stats level up on Izanagi. Wait, no, she only has a new voice in dancing. Yeah, makes sense. I thought her voice still sounds the same between Vanilla and Golden. I mean, honestly, when I was playing Vanilla for the first time, Persona 4 Vanilla, I actually never knew that Teddy had a different voice actor. If anything, I thought they just redid his lines for Golden, but no, apparently he's a completely different voice actor between Vanilla and Golden. Which is actually kind of impressive, because honestly, the new voice for Teddy actually captured the original voice pretty spot on, honestly. But yeah, without a doubt, the voice for Chie is very, very noticeable. I mean, the voice for Chie in the original definitely sounds like a older woman voicing a character, whereas the voice for Chie in the Golden version is not only better, but sounds more like a teenager and sounds more like a tomboy, which is fitting in Chie's personality. Yeah. I make no secret that I prefer Chie's voice in the Golden version compared to the original version. And I know there's actually some people that prefer the Vanilla version because some people found her voice annoying in Golden. I personally didn't, because she sounds like an actual teenager and sounds more like a tomboy. I personally prefer her voice in the Golden version. This is my first time seeing Persona 4 on stream. I mean, there's probably lots of people that stream Persona 4. Are you sure it's your first time seeing Persona 4 on stream? I googled it, and apparently Risei's VA is the same in 4 and 4G. Okay. So yeah, it's the same in 4 and 4G. I thought so. So yeah, it's really only Teddy and Chie that had a different voice actor. And they definitely recorded extra lines for Margaret that definitely sound like they were recorded on separate days for the Marie content. Crap. Thank you for deciding to let us escape, Teddy, because sometimes Teddy will decide to not let us escape. Okay, so how are we doing on leveling up here? Okay, 377. Okay, so we're definitely more than halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Okay. And then we're 385. Okay, we're actually getting close for Izanagi. Oh, okay. Okay, so Izanagi, even though he required more levels to level up, apparently he actually gains a lot more EXP just because we're... Interesting. Wait a minute. Wait, Izanagi's gonna level up before our main character. So yeah, we actually have to pay attention to Izanagi's levels and not my main character's levels. So yeah, once we get closer to the 100 mark for Izanagi, we'll definitely make progress back towards the entrance and then just edge Izanagi enough and see if stat manipulation works on Izanagi. Because if different levels do level up on Izanagi, then that would actually be something that is useful to keep in mind and something that we can potentially manipulate for whatever boss fights we need it for. And for this kind of run, definitely getting my strength and endurance and agility up are definitely the highest priority stats that we want leveled up. Because if different stats do level up and we can reset and have different stats go up, then that would definitely be useful. Because I've definitely seen level ups on Izanagi where either 2 stats or 3 stats level up on Izanagi. And considering that we don't have Arcana Chance yet, since we don't have the ability to do Arcana Chance yet, then yeah, this will actually be a great opportunity of making sure we min-max the stats that we need, so that way we can beat Shadow Yukiko. But that's if this is a thing that exists, so yeah. Can't wait to see the bad Shovel Time mechanic. Yeah, the Shovel Time mechanic in the vanilla version of Persona 4 is definitely the worst version of Shovel Time. It's definitely the worst version of Shovel Time. Every single Shovel Time mechanic from the later games, or even the previous games, is definitely better than the vanilla version of Persona 4. The Persona 4's original Shovel Time is bad. There's no way for me to say it any nicer. It's bad. You have only 3 cards to choose from. You either get a penalty card, which means you negate every single battle reward, EXP, money, and items. So any SP that you wasted on that battle is permanently wasted. And then, of course, there's the blank cards, which do nothing, or the Persona cards, which give you a Persona. In this kind of run, getting the Persona cards is useless. I mean, it's not illegal if we gain a Persona card. It's just once we gain it, we'll have to immediately dismiss that Persona from our stock. And then after that, like, we essentially just want to make sure we get just blank cards. Get blank cards because we can get blank cards and still get Arcana Chance. And when it comes to Arcana Chance, depending on the effects, we might roll the dice on it, but we may not want to roll the dice if it's been a long while since we last saved. Especially if those chances either increases our stats or it potentially has the chance of leveling up Izanagi's physical skill, because yeah, the Magician card actually does exist in the vanilla version, and it functions like how the Magician card functions in Golden, except not only do we have a rarer chance of a Magician card appearing, but we also have a chance of it reversing. And if it's a reverse card, then a skill downgrades, and if it's a upright, then a skill upgrades. But the thing is, it doesn't upgrade on the persona you have equipped, it upgrades on a random persona you have in your stock. Because of that, we have to manipulate some RNG essentially, and essentially make sure that only Izanagi's physical skill levels up. That's the only skill we want on Izanagi to level up, is his cleave skill. Because I've already mentioned it before, but I'll show it again. On Izanagi, so he has two different buffs, 1 debuff, Zeo, and Cleave. The only skill we want to upgrade is Cleave, because apparently we can upgrade this 3 times, and we can, 5 times or something like that, and apparently this can go as high as heavy physical damage. If we can upgrade to heavy physical damage, that will be incredibly useful. Yes, that means more of a percentage of our HP going away, but that means a higher chance of us not only doing more damage, but also landing critical hits. Zeo, we want to keep as Zeo because we can only upgrade this to Mazio, but we can't upgrade a Mazio to Mazionga, unfortunately. Tarakaja and Rakukaja we want to keep as a singular buff because we're pretty much only playing as you for the entire run after we defeat Shadow Yukiko. And Rakunda is probably best to stay on Rakunda, but if we get Ma Rakunda, that's not the worst thing in the world. It just means we're using more SP when we're fighting boss fights. So we definitely want to make sure that we only upgrade Cleave, and that's going to require a ridiculous amount of RNG to make sure that, yeah, Izanagi can get God's Hand through the Magician card. So yeah, we only want to upgrade physical skills. The problem is that I don't know if it prioritizes lower tier skills before a higher tier skill. Because if it prioritizes a lower tier skill first, then that means we may not be able to upgrade Cleave beyond whatever the second best physical skill is. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. If the stat increase is random, you could min-max, make Izanagi not powerful, but at least competent. At least competent, yeah, and also kind of slightly reduce the amount of times I have to overlevel. Now, does the Japanese VA cast stay the same between Vanilla and Golden? Probably, I don't know, but I don't play these games in Japanese, so I wouldn't know. Since they're going to recast for 4R, I hope they keep Adachi the same VA. He's just perfect. I mean, they might not. I don't know. Whether they do or not is their choice and all that. But I have a good feeling that they're probably going to replace every single voice actor. I mean, the only voice actor that did reprise the role in Reload was actually Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the only one that actually reprised her role for Reload. I seem to remember Niarli managing to upgrade Izanagi's cleave all the way to Brave Blade in Risei's dungeon. Well, I mean, he had the advantage of playing the golden version of Persona 4. I'm not playing the golden version. I'm playing the harder version of Persona 4. And right now, as far as I'm aware, the only Persona 4 run that exists of the vanilla version is one by Nam's Compendium, where he did the entire run without the protagonist, where he had to use the AIs throughout the entire game. Now, there's actually two different runs of that exist. There's one done by Magic Marcos, who did it in the golden version, and then there's the one done by Nam's Compendium, which had more views because he has more subscribers for the vanilla version. So essentially, if you want to see a run where Yu does nothing but change tactics and garden, then you can watch Magic Marcos, who did the run on the golden version, which is definitely the easier version to play. And then there's the run by Nam's Compendium, where he did it in the vanilla version. So yeah, if you want to see a vanilla version of Persona 4 done, Nam's Compendium did a challenge run of the vanilla version. And as far as I know, he's the only one that has done a challenge run of the vanilla version. I mean, yeah, there's speed runs of the vanilla version, but I'm talking about challenge runs of the vanilla version. As far as I'm aware, only exists, only Nam's Compendium has done it. In fact, Nam's Compendium has gone as far as to admitting that he actually prefers the vanilla version over the golden version. I mean, he's entitled to that opinion, but I personally disagree with a good chunk of what he says. Mostly because, in my opinion, the stuff that they included in Golden, yeah, it makes the game a slight bit easier, but it definitely makes it more fun to play. I mean, just because a game is harder does not mean it's better. Yeah, he definitely is one with a purist mindset, and don't get me wrong, I respect his opinion. But I feel like that purist mindset does get overblown at times.
There's only one enemy. Go for a first strike.
Wait, OG Persona 4 had tactics like OG Persona 3? Yep. There's a tactics menu that you can assign for your party members. Like, after the complaints of not controlling your party members directly in Persona 3, they actually have it advertised on the back of the box that you can now directly control your party members. So when we talk to Teddy, we actually don't have an option to fast travel to a floor or a previous floor like we do in Golden, unfortunately. So that's not a feature that exists. So if we want to go to the next floor, we have to legit walk to the floor, unfortunately. But yeah, we can change battle tactics on Chie and Yosuke. What should I do? Currently on direct command. So act freely, full assault, conserve SP, heal and support, or keep it on direct commands. Obviously, we want to keep it on direct commands because, well, even though this is a Yu solo run, the only way to have them do nothing is to have them on direct commands so we can have them guard. But yeah, if you want to see how terrible the tactics system work, you can either watch Magic Marco's run on the golden version of the game, or watch Nam's Compendium run of the vanilla game, because yeah, the tactics is terrible. They sometimes just outright ignore the tactics given to them. Oh, shit. I accidentally pressed the A button. Darn it. Okay, but that's okay. I can just immediately release her. I don't have to keep her on me. I just need to make sure that I don't accidentally get the penalty card because, gosh darn it, that would have been a waste. Okay. So let me just go to Asparis. We're going to dismiss her. So yeah, it's not going to be against the rules if we accidentally pick up a persona from Shovel Time. We just immediately dismiss them. It's just we don't want to pick the penalty cards because the penalty cards make us lose what we gain. Does this game have skill cards? No, it doesn't. It does not at all. Just because a game is harder does not mean it's better. Try telling that to the haters of Persona 3R. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I mean, if you want a harder game, that's totally fair. That's totally fair if you want a harder game. And by all means, playing OG Persona 4 and Persona 3 FES is definitely going to fulfill your needs of wanting a harder Persona game for sure. But just to say that because it's harder that it's better is just, in my opinion, just still a valid mindset, but still a very close-minded way of looking at it. Oh, geez. Magic Marco's fight in Shadow Mitsuo without the protagonist and with party members, that was hell to watch live and kind of fun. I mean, it's fun when you're not the one and doing it, but yeah, I definitely really enjoyed watching Magic Marco's run. In fact, I was actually watching a lot of his live streams. Like, you'll actually see my name pop up quite a few times in the final video. Like, you'll actually see my name pop up a few times in the final video. Like, I was like, dude, why did you get rid of, like, the fire boost skills? The fire boost skills is useful because you can stack it with fire amp. And there's another time where he was using the punishment wheel and he was doing exercises, and I was jokingly saying, so this is where the magic happens, because he was doing, like, squats in his room or something. I was just being hilarious. Like, you can actually see me a few times in his video, actually. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed Magic Marco's run. I think my favorite part of his runs were pretty much the Shadow Yukiko fight and the Shadow Mitsuo fight, because of the insane amount of RNG luck that he had with Shadow Yukiko, and just the frustrating AI just not working with him for Shadow Mitsuo. And then when it comes to Nam's Compendium, I say the most entertaining part of his run was actually seeing Shadow Yukiko just not work with him at all during the Shadow Naoto fight. Because the Shadow Naoto fight, all Yukiko was doing was using her basic attack, because the AI thinks that's efficient, because, well, Shadow Naoto has a resistance to fire attacks, and the only thing that Yukiko was doing was using her basic attack, because the AI thinks that's efficient, even though Yukiko is the most pathetic strength-based fighter in the game. And not only that, despite trying to set her on like heal and support, she refused to do any healing and pretty much left all the healing to Teddy. And then once Teddy ran out of SP, she finally remembers that she's part of the team and used fire. Yeah, some of the commentary that he made in the run was actually pretty hilarious. Like, here's Yukiko here, thinking she's hot shit or something and just refusing to do anything. Yeah, he actually made some pretty funny commentary. I mean, personally, I think Magic Marco's run, protagonist, or Magic Marco's run was funnier than Nam Compendium's, but Nam's Compendium is definitely a lot more straightforward than Magic Marco's. Both runs are definitely really good. I definitely recommend checking out both of their runs on the no protagonist, use of AI only run. Essentially, if you want the golden version, watch Magic Marco's. If you want the vanilla version, check out Nam's Compendium. Otherwise, I highly recommend checking out both runs. But if you want to see a run on the vanilla version, then yeah, Nam's Compendium, so far of what I know, is the only one that has done a challenge run video on the vanilla version of Persona 4. And because nobody else has done a run on the vanilla version, I'm throwing my hat in the ring and doing a Yu and Izanagi only run. So I'm essentially doing not only the hardest possible run idea I can think of, but at least run one that is not as insane as like the doing nothing run.
Now's your chance.
Come on, land a crit, dude.
Now's your chance to run.
Jeez. Don't get why OG4 doesn't have skill cards, because it wasn't a feature that was introduced yet. I mean, in this game, you still have skill inheritance. Like, you can't choose the skills that you want on your personas. You at least have to roll the dice to have the skills you want. Thankfully, with us doing an Izanagi only run, we don't have to deal with that annoying mechanic. But we do have to deal with the annoying mechanic of, like, being limited to our starting skills, with the exception of the cleave attack.
One enemy. Now's your chance. Great work.
If you want to play a harder game, play mainline SMT. Yep, that's true. New Sona is harder than mainline SMT. Is it? OG Persona 4 is way harder than the mainline. OG Persona 3 is also harder. I mean, that's pretty straightforward and common knowledge, yeah. Hopefully Revival will bring back the Tatsumi Port Island trip. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will. It'd be a missed opportunity for them not to do it, and since they already have the assets built from the ground up for Persona 3 Reload, they would just take the maps from Persona 3 Reload and just, you know, have them for the field trip.
One enemy. Fight, fight, fight. Great work.
What's the challenge run? Trying to not drive myself insane. That's the challenge run. Also, Nitsa Gamer, yeah, I seen the name in his final video too, to the point where somebody commented, dude, because of how much this Matija guy person helped me during the run, he deserves the membership. Not trying to brag, to be honest. Weren't skill cards first introduced in Portable and then later added to the Golden's version of Persona 4? Yeah, it was first introduced in Persona 3 Portable because it was actually introduced as a way of getting skills onto you without having to, you know, optionally choose your skills. So yeah, Izanagi is going to level up first before any of our party members. So once he gets close to leveling up, we're definitely going to bail out of the dungeon, and we're going to see if random stats actually do level up based on his level. Because if different stats do level up, then we definitely want to make use of that RNG manipulation and make sure only certain stats go up. And if that's the case, then that is something I'm going to definitely have in the final video. But yeah, thank you so much for suggesting that, Matty Jestvanik. I really don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry if I'm botching up your name. But yeah, if what you say is correct, then I'll definitely credit you in the final video. Why did Atlas love the roll of the dice Persona moves and Persona in PlayStation 2 so much? I mean, it wasn't just Persona. It was also in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. It wasn't until the HD port added an update where you can actually choose optional skills, and because of that, it became the better version of Persona of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne to play. But yeah, the reason why they added skill cards to begin with is to compensate for the roll of the dice mechanic. But then in Golden, they realized, you know, it'd just be more efficient to select your own skills. And from there, you can select your own skills, and it definitely made the games a lot better. And then the skill cards from there have pretty much been a part of the mechanic. And in some versions, it's more broken than others. Skill cards is definitely a lot more broken in like the later parts of the game, like Persona 3 Reload and Persona 3 Royal. I mean, Persona 5 Royal. Because, yeah, even though, yeah, skill cards were a thing in vanilla Persona 5, the thing is that getting blank cards were actually quite rare to get. Getting blank cards were quite rare to get because there was no clear indication on how you can get blank cards. That was something that I acknowledged in my top 17 confidants video of the vanilla version of Persona 5, is that there's no clear indication of how you can get blank cards. And as far as I was aware, the only way of getting blank cards was getting them from a random chest within Mementos. That was like the only thing that I knew of how to get blank cards in the vanilla version. So because of that, trying to duplicate skill cards with Yusuke or trying to itemize skill cards in the Velvet Room pretty much just became a last resort if you really needed to get a skill to complete Caroline and Elizabeth's requests, or to try to get the skills you need in order to fight up against Caroline and Justine on New Game Plus. Nice. Oh, let's get Valkyrie. She would definitely be a lot more useful against Shadow Yukiko. Between Portable, Reload, Golden, and Royal, my favorite skill card mechanic is Golden's iteration. I mean, it's definitely the less broken iteration for sure. I'm still glad that skill cards are a thing in the game, for sure. It's just, yeah, oh my god, Izanagi is close to getting up to the next level. Okay, we gotta backtrack and get out of this dungeon. Get out of this dungeon. Don't even bother with any optional battles on the way. Get out of this dungeon and then just grind on the first floor. Even though I do have a go home, I don't want to waste it. I want to conserve it. So I'm just going to get to the starting floor, because if different skills do level up on Izanagi, I want to see if that is the case. If different skills level up, if Izanagi levels up. Because if he has a low chance of having his Endure go up, then maybe I can do some RNG manipulation to get his Endure to guarantee that it goes up, because I definitely need more endure as well as high agility and strength if I want a chance against Shadow Yukiko, because between Zeo or Cleave is definitely more damaging, and if I can increase my strength more, then Cleave is definitely going to be more of a reliable damage source than Zeo. And not to mention, I actually want to increase my physical attacks anyway, since that's going to be more useful against Shadow Kanji, who repels electric damage, or drains electric damage. Because yeah, using electric damage against Shadow Kanji is definitely not going to be helpful, so I definitely want to make sure that I min-max strength as much as possible. Obviously, I'm going to be able to min-max these stats a little bit more once I unlock Arcana Chance, but I don't have Arcana Chance unlocked yet. I feel like Shigon Cafe shouldn't cost a time slot. I'm pretty sure they're going to change the way some of the ways that you pass time works in the revival version of Persona 4. I mean, who knows? Maybe they might actually give us extra time slots between Marie's dungeon and the true final dungeon, just so we have extra time to max out every social link in the game. In a way, I kind of hope they do, because it's actually pretty hard to max out every social link in the game. So anyway, we're going to get to the start of the dungeon. We're going to save. We're going to slowly but surely get Izanagi to the point where the next level is guaranteed to level him up. And then after that, I'm going to see if different stats level up on Izanagi. Because if different stats level up on Izanagi, I want to try to mid-max the stats that I know for sure are going to be useful against Shadow Yukiko, which is in this case is strength, endurance, and agility. Because if I can get strength, endurance, and agility up, then that would definitely be useful. So I'm going to see if this actually works. If not, then it's a cool suggestion, and at least we didn't waste our time. At least we actually scouted to see if this is a possible way of doing it. Portable and reload, there's a shrine where you can duplicate cards, yeah. But at least on portable, it takes time, and in reload, it's instant. What scene are you looking forward to seeing in Revival? It's hard to say. I mean, it'll definitely be cool to see a good chunk of the scenes redone in Revival for sure. I mean, literally any scene, honestly. Okay, so now that I saved, we're going to grind on first floor enemies, which is good considering that first floor enemies, we don't have 99 other items yet. So we're going to do like multiple tries and see if different stats level up on Izanagi. Because if different stats level up on Izanagi upon him leveling up, like if the same stats level up no matter what after 5 times of trying, then at least we know that the same stats are always going to level up. And if that's the case, then we just live with that. But if different stats do level up, then that would be great. Because if we can upgrade, like, you know, 3 stats and make it strength, agility, and endurance, then that would definitely be efficient.
There's only one enemy. Go for a
Okay, so 2. So yeah, we're going to gain next to nothing when it comes to stats from these guys. But that's okay, because as long as we're gaining stats, then we're... Okay, we almost gained nothing from that, actually. I'm looking forward to the Yosuke romance, which they will totally restore. Yeah, I'm not counting on it. I'm personally not counting on it. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to resist the urge to do so, because really I think it's mostly the Western audience that is more for it than the Japanese audience. And not to mention, if they do add it, there's always going to be those people that, you know, cry woke and then add, like, you know, those cliched woke pictures that, oh, Persona 4 has gone woke and all that, and all I can say is shut the fuck up to those people. Unfortunately, that's something that can and will likely happen. Okay, we're 24. So we're just going to edge Izanagi close to his next level. So, we're going to edge him so good. Frick yeah. Okay. I should stop being sexual, or otherwise I might restrict this to 18 plus. Yeah, we'll get Izanagi close to the next level. Actually, maybe we can push him just a little bit closer if we grind on a level 3, on a floor 3 enemy. But yeah, I'm not counting that they're going to add the Yosuke romance. It would be cool if it was a feature for sure. I mean, if they added, like, you know, same-sex romance options in Persona games, that would be great, but if not, whatever, it's their game. I'm all for it if they have heterosexual romance only, or if they have no romance at all, like in Metaphor ReFantazio. Like, I'm all for it, regardless. It's an ARR stream!
Two enemy shadows. You get to go first.
What the heck just dropped? Something of mine just dropped on the floor.
Sensei, that's one.
Guard! Guard! Okay, and that gets me a little bit more EXP. Okay, 12, that's pretty good. I can probably just grind on the remaining enemies that are down here. Definitely a Magi-in incident, joking, of course. I mean, regardless, any scenes, just being able to see it in HD would be pretty cool. I wonder how they will handle Kanji and Naoto in Revival because, well, no, because just handle them how you handled them in the original game and just go from there. If people like to think that their story is something else, that's their problem. Hey, Sparks13, Yosuke romance? Nah, Teddy romance. It doesn't let you cross barriers between the sexes. Yeah, Naoto's storyline is like severely taken out of context. It's like severely taken out of context, and it's always cringeworthy whenever people continue to take it out of context. Like, yeah, I can see why people think it's a transphobic story, but it's really not.
There's only one enemy. Go for a first strike.
It's not because, for one, Naoto's story is not a transgender story, and Kanji's main dilemma is not him being gay, but embracing hobbies that, by society standards, are considered too feminine. Okay, 5 more stats, so I think one battle should be good enough to edge Izanagi close. Excuse me. Okay, let's try one more battle that is down here, because I don't want to over-level Izanagi. I just want to level him up enough to guarantee that he's going to level up, and we're going to see if different stats level up upon a leveling up, because if so, then that will definitely become very useful information for the rest of the run. And we can start mid-maxing particular stats.
Two enemies. You can attack before them.
Guard. Guard.
One enemy.
Okay, so this should only get us 4 EXP, which means Izanagi should be exactly 1 EXP away from leveling up. Wait, no. Okay, Persona. So yeah, there we go. 1 EXP away from leveling up, so a random encounter on the first floor will be enough to level him up. So we're going to see if different stats level him up upon leveling up, or if it's going to be the same stats no matter what. So if it's the same stats no matter what, then at least we know. At least we know. And if different stats do level up, and if it's a combination of either 2 or 3 stats going up, because I've seen at certain level ups that sometimes either 2 or 3 stats increase. And if different number stats increase, then we want to make sure that 3 stats go up. And if 3 stats go up, we want to make sure that it's on strength, endurance, and agility. If we want to get ourselves closer, like a better chance of being able to defeat the boss fights to come. Especially Shadow Yukiko and Shadow Kanji. considering that Shadow Kanji, we definitely want to make sure that we get our strength stat up in particular, because magic stat is going to be useless if we can't attack them with Zio. I mean, we saw how they handled Yukari in episode Aegis, so I don't have high hopes. Honestly, I don't even see why people complain about Yukari in episode Aegis. What did they do wrong with her that people complain about it? Like, am I just oblivious to something? What did they do wrong to Yukari? I've played both episode Aegis and The Answer, and honestly, aside from her not, you know, struggling against Aegis, they, as far as I can tell, never really did anything that's insulting to Yukari. She was pretty much portrayed exactly how she was in The Answer. So what did they do wrong that pissed people off?
Two enemies. Who can attack before them? One enemy. Fight!
It doesn't make sense how people insist Naoto is trans and Kanji is gay. It's like they never understood or played the games. I mean, I can see why people can take the stories out of context. It's just, obviously they're not considering the context that is involved or actually listening to what the story is. And because being, you know, anything that is not straight or cisgender is like a common dilemma these days and a right that is constantly being fought for, of course people are going to think it's a trans story or a gay story. It's no wonder. It's just obviously they're taking it out of context or not knowing what the story is going to be. But who knows? Maybe they might rewrite lines to clarify what their actual dilemmas are, so that way audience who think it's a LGBT story realize it's not an LGBT story. They toned her way down too much. Like her trying to take the key away from Aegis. Honestly, I really don't think it's a big deal. I think people are overreacting. Okay, so for this level up, strength and agility goes up, which are good. Now we're going to reset and see if different stats go up at every level up. And if we do multiple attempts and nothing but strength and agility go up, then at least we know that unfortunately it's going to be the same amount of stats for the persona regardless. So 2 stats went up, and that was strength and agility. So we're going to reset and see if different stats go up this time. Yeah, I never understand the hate Yukari gets. It's completely understandable why she chose what she did. Yeah, it's very understandable and definitely in character for her to choose that option. Like, yeah, she's in the wrong for choosing it, but it's an understandable reason why she would choose that option to begin with. You know, it's a very human option for her to go with that option. Like, honestly, if I was in her situation, I probably would have gone with that option too. Shit. I just realized that I didn't get an ambush encounter, so I might get hit here. Unless I dodge. Okay, so let's see if different stats level up or not. And let's see. So before, strength and agility leveled up, so let's see. Ooh! Ooh! Okay, thank you so much. What's your name? Who suggested it? So yeah, different stats do level up on Izanagi. So we can actually reset until specific stats level up. Now the question is it just the 2 stats, or can we actually get 3 stats to level up? Because I know sometimes at each level up, 2 stats or 3 stats can improve. Now the question is, can we get 3 stats to go up instead of just 2? Because if we can get 3 stats to go up, then that would be the most efficient way to min-max in the game. Because yeah, if we can min-max strength, agility, and endurance to go up, that would actually be very efficient. Yukari is the only girl I romanced because Fuka rejected me. Aw, sucks. Anyone else done a max social link run in Persona 3? Yep. Yeah, you have to follow a guide if you want to do a max social link run for the original Persona 3. For Persona 3 Reload, you just got to look up the answers that you want to answer to your social links. Otherwise, it's pretty simple, maxing out every single social link in Persona 3 Reload along with the linked social links. The romance mechanic in OG3 is so not good, so they patched it in future games, pretty much, yeah. They have to romance every girl, so there's no option not to. Yep, told you. I am surprised you didn't know it. I mean, I wouldn't know it because it's not really something that I pay attention to. It's not like I reload to see if different stats go up. So yeah, you are correct, man. So I'll definitely have to credit you in the final video for that information. But yeah, as we can see, different stats go up at different, if you just reload, and yeah, different stats will go up. Now, we want to essentially make sure that strength, endurance, and agility go up, but we want to see if 3 stats can go up instead of 2. So let's see. Okay, so agility and luck leveled up this time, but it's still 2 stats. So we're going to keep reloading and see if it's just 2 stats that level up, or if we can actually have 3 stats level up, because if we can get 3 stats to level up, that would be great. I'm aware I played it. I'm not the biggest fan of Yukari as a character, but I will defend her choice in the answer since it's only human to choose it. Yeah. I mean, I do like Yukari's character. I mean, yeah, even at her low moments, she still felt very human in both the original story and in the answer. If you max out their social link, you can romance them. There's no other option. Yeah, I know. I personally was not a fan of, like, the jealousy and romance mechanic in the original Persona 3, because not only were you forced into a relationship without your consent, but the jealousy mechanic just ruined, you know, progressing the social links in Persona 3, and it pretty much means if you get anybody that gets jealous, you pretty much lost your chance of being able to max out that particular social link in that run. You pretty much have to use a guide if you want to make sure that you max out all the social links in one run. But at least with Reload, you only just have to choose the best options, and you're pretty much good. Choose the best options, use the dating app thing that you get later in the game so you can deepen their bonds further, and you should be good. Okay, so Izanagi leveled up, endurance and agility goes up. Okay, well those are kind of the stats that I need more, if anything. And since my strength is naturally gonna go up anyway, I think I might live with that, actually. I'll create a backup save just in case, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get... I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get 3 stats to go up, because so far only 2 stats have gone up every single level. So I'm going to create a backup save and save on file 5. I'm going to save on file 5. So yeah, that's actually really good to know for the rest of the run. So now we can prioritize mid-maxing certain stats at every single level we level up Izanagi. So that's actually pretty darn useful. Thank you so much for suggesting that. So yeah, that's actually something that we can actually do. Awesome. Okay, so now that I saved to 5, because I'm probably going to go with that file, I'm just going to do numerous attempts and see if 3 stats can go up. And if 3 stats are not going up, then I'm just going to continue the run on file 5 and just get my party members up to level 20 and then go from there. But yeah, out of the multiple attempts that I've done, only 2 stats are going up and not 3. So I'll do this a few more times, and if only 2 stats are going up, then I'm just going to live with just the endurance and agility going up, because I definitely need to be more bulky as well as more dodgy if I want a chance against Shadow Yukiko. And as long as I increase my base level by at least 1 level, then I'm increasing my damage potential while also decreasing the amount of damage I take. But yeah, getting Izanagi's endurance up is definitely going to be super helpful. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is that I'm going to do a few more attempts and see if 3 stats can go up. And if it's just 2 stats that are going up, then I'll just live with the endurance and agility increase that I got. Wait, I got 2 points in endurance? Really? I actually had 2 points in endurance? Oh wait, I had enemy reinforcements up here. I mean, I'm probably going to reload anyways, but let me just see if 3 stats go up. Yeah. Oh, 2 stats are going up. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. So 3 stats are technically increasing. It's just it's being increased twice on one of my stats. Okay, and you said that 2 stats went up on endurance. Okay. Okay. But yeah, as far as I can tell, only 2 particular stats are increasing, but one of those stats is being increased twice, apparently? Huh, okay. 19 hours for the first dungeon is brutal. Yes, it is. I'm going to just do one more attempt just to see how mid-maxing stats work. But yeah, if we already got 2 endurance on Izanagi from the saved file at file 5, then yeah, that's definitely something that I want to live with. Well, increasing our strength would also be nice as well. You know, I want to increase strength, agility, and endurance. Getting 2 endurance on Izanagi is pretty darn good, considering that most of the problem with us facing against Shadow Yukiko is us enduring the amount of damage we take, but also not being dodgy enough. So increasing agility and endurance definitely goes a long way. Yes, I'm phasing out, and I'm holding out, and I'm reaching out to the truth, and my life's taking the seas. I'm better than Cease and the Phantom Thieves, oh yeah. Okay, someone's gonna get hit here, but that's okay, because I'm probably gonna reload anyway. And it's on my meat shield, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so 3 different stats can level up. Okay, so 1 strength, 1 magic, and 1 agility. Okay, so technically 3 stats are going up. It's just there's a chance that 1 particular stat is going up twice. And considering that I had level 8 endurance, then if endurance went up 8 times, that means I have a save file where my endurance went up 8 times or 2 times, and my agility went up. Okay, so technically 3 stats are increasing. It's just there's a chance that it can increase the same stat 2 times. Okay. It's worth it to get past these brutal boss fights, yep. I still haven't finished the episode Aegis, but I remember thinking Metis was really annoying. Well, you have wrong opinions because Metis is freaking awesome and you should have her in your party for the rest of the game, Mr. Wrong Opinion. Is it weird that I don't hate or like Metis? Not really, because Metis is freaking awesome. The biggest regret I felt is not maxing out Akinari, but I maxed him out in the portable. Now I can cry. How dare you not max out Akinari? You always max out Akinari in every playthrough of Persona 3, or otherwise your run is automatically invalid. Okay, so 3 stats do increase, so I got 2 stats on my endurance. So let me just check the stats that I got. So there we go. Level 15, we need 3,713 EXP to level up. Gosh darn it. Okay, so this save file, we got 2 stats on our endurance and 1 on our agility. And honestly, I think that's the best outcome, because we want to not only be as tanky as possible, but as dodgy as possible. So we're going to live with those stats. So yeah, thank you so much, however you pronounce your name. I seriously don't know how to pronounce your name, but yeah. So yeah, now that I know that that's an actual feature in this game, I can prioritize making sure that I max out my strength, endurance, and agility as much as possible, so I can reduce the amount of times that I have to mid-max those particular stats in later parts of the run. In Reload, Metis is rather good, I thought. Oh, she's overpowered in Reload, all the more reason why you want to use her. Not maxing him saves his life. No, it doesn't. Maxing him out puts him at peace, because he's going to die no matter what. He's going to die no matter what. You don't save his life by not spending time with him. You save his life and make his life worth it if you max him out. So yeah, 2 endurance and 1 agility, so yeah, definitely worth the grind. Unfortunately, I think 2 enemies might spawn here, so I might have to reload. Oh, no, okay, I can definitely do it because I got a critical. Nice.
So far. Nice.
So I can definitely live with this one. So now the only priority is to get my party members to level 20, and I should be good. So yeah, once I get my party members to level 20, all 3 of them, then I can make my party members as endurable as possible, and also hopefully get you closer to being able to decrease the amount of reattempts I have to do against Shadow Yukiko. But yeah, knowing that I can actually min-max particular stats while leveling up Izanagi is definitely going to be a useful source of information. So thank you so much for suggesting that.
Two enemy shadows.
Because that will definitely be useful for a run like this where we don't have to prioritize, you know, luck or magic as much. Because we're definitely going to want to prioritize strength, endurance, and agility. What if Dojinama became a party member? Not going to happen because that's not how they wrote them. Don't even bother suggesting it any further because that's not how they wrote him. Period. Move on. Imagine if that happens. Well, I can't imagine if that happens, so yeah. No problem, mate. If it's a pronunciation issue, just go with my first name. What is your first name? Because I don't know if that's just one name for you. Or is it more funny if I don't know how to pronounce your name and I try to pronounce it terribly in the video? I don't know. Oh yeah, I just got Riku in Final Fantasy X. I think I almost got all party members, if not all. Once you get Riku, you got all party members. If you manage to get Auron and Riku in your party, then yes, you have all party members in Final Fantasy X. And now you just got to go between utilizing their individual uses and such for the rest of the game. So if you're attacking high agility enemies, go with Titus. If you're going against ranged enemies, go with Waka. If you're attacking against elemental enemies, go with Lulu. If you're going against strong armored enemies, go with Auron. If you're going against robotic enemies or enemies you want to steal from, go with Riku. And if you're going against enemies that you want to leech, HP and MP off of, you can always go with Kamari, because sometimes you have a chance of leeching enemy skills. And if you have a really strong enemy and you want to just kill them in one shot if possible, then going with Yuna and going with her what am I saying? Going with her Aeons is definitely an efficient way of being able to end the battle. And you don't have to worry if your Aeons get KO'd, because at least it's a safeguard of having your party members get KO'd. As long as one party member is standing, then you will always guarantee that you either run or escape from a battle. Once you get Naoto, your party stays the same for the rest of the game. Actually, it's going to stay the same for the rest of the game after we defeat Shadow Yukiko, technically.
One so far. Good work, Sensei. That's one.
Do they stay the same the whole time, or do some leave for a time? In Persona 4, no, I'm pretty sure not a single party member temporarily leaves my team or anything. I mean, even in the story progressive moment where Teddy temporarily leaves, there's no point where we can optionally enter the TV world at any point, so it's not like we ever lose them as a party member temporarily or anything. We never lose a party member temporarily throughout all of Persona 4. In Persona 3, there's moments where there's characters that are going to have times where they're just not going to be available.
Two enemies. You can attack before them.
Okay, we can definitely kill these hands in one shot. Nice.
Just one enemy left.
No!
Okay, I'll look for an. Oh, there.
God damn it.
That's the run.
God damn you, RNG. Well, once we get to level 20, we should be able to kill those magic hands in one shot, but it doesn't really matter since I think I already got the item forged from those magic hands, so I think I'm fine on that matter. First name is Mataja, and last name is Tifanik. Please nobody dox me. So Mataja? I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name or not. Mataja?
Oh, there! Now's your chance to run!
I hope I'm saying that right. Replace the D with an S. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm probably just going to botch up your name in the final video, if anything. By the way, I was at rank 8, and I was so close to playing the Junes half-naked guy. Or the Jesus half-naked guy. Is that so? Have Aki and Junpei beat Tanaka to a pulp. Yep. No, I meant in Persona X story. Oh, okay. Do the party members leave? Yeah, there are moments where I think maybe at least one party member temporarily leaves the team, and there are moments where you have to do underwater sections with just Riku, Waka, and Titus, as they're the only ones that can do underwater battles. But other than that, yeah, you don't really have to worry all that much when it comes to party members temporarily leaving. I mean, as long as you're making use of the sphere grid, then you're playing the game efficiently.
We won!
I'll definitely say when you get around to the point where you get your 4th A on, you should definitely make sure that you min-max Yuna a little bit. Otherwise, as long as you're making use of the sphere grid, then you are playing Final Fantasy X efficiently.
Two enemy shadows! You get to go first! One enemy! Fight! Great work!
Teddy leave forever. Nope, Teddy. Once Teddy joins the team, he never leaves. Don't like Teddy, he fried my brain. Don't you mean freeze your brain because he's an ice user? Huh? Huh? He's an ice user. He's not someone who fries your brain. He freezes your brain. Okay, how far are we from leveling up? Okay, 12. Okay, so obviously we're not going to finish the grinding until all party members level up to 20, not just you. Because as long as our party members are leveling up, then hopefully they're increasing their endurance or even their physical endurance stat for Shadow Yukiko. And again, if I had the option to put them in reserve and just grind with you only, I would. But unfortunately, that's not an option, so I have to have them in the party. But the advantage of having them in the party is that I can use them as meat shields for the fight against Shadow Yukiko. But once I have the option to put them in reserve, I have to put them in reserve and fight with just you for the rest of the game. Again, it's a contest between Mona and Teddy. Not really. Mona is definitely better than Teddy. Character-wise, I mean. Character-wise, Mona or Morgana is definitely better than Teddy. In terms of an actual party member, Teddy is definitely a really useful party member. Like, he is so slept on, but Teddy is such a great party member to have. Not only does he have stronger ice skills than Chie, but he also has a mix of healing skills as well as buff and debuffs. Or buffs, I mean. Teddy is one of, if not, like, the second best party member under Yukiko, honestly. Teddy is just that good. Like, whenever I play Persona 4, Yukiko and Teddy are always my mains, and then I just kind of rotate with who I want as my 4th party member, which would usually be Kanji, Yosuke, maybe one other party member, maybe it could be Naoto or Chie. I'll probably change it up depending on the playthroughs, but here we go. We finally got to level 20. We need 1,748 EXP to level up. You sense another change about you is to occur within you. You can now store up to 8 personas. Yippee! We did it, guys! So, apparently, in a run where we're playing as you and Izanagi only, we finally gained the abilities to get more personas in a run where we can only use one persona. Frick yes! Oh, we're playing the game so efficiently. Yes. Are you gonna fight Yukiko on stream? No, probably not. I'm probably gonna record it on my own time. It is interesting when I got Riku because she has just over 300 HP while the rest had at least 100,000. I think Riku has pretty low HP regardless, but Riku is still a very handy party member, especially when you're facing up against robots. Given the flashback scenes with the Persona 3 The Answer, Mitsuru awakened when she was 7 as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'm not sure what the age is, but yeah, she was the youngest Persona user to awaken to her Persona. Are you going to fight Yukiko on stream? No. Pronounce my name however you feel is right, because I don't know how my first or last name would be pronounced in English as well. English is my second language, so no worries. Okay, I'll try to pronounce it as best as possible, and if I botch it up, then I'll acknowledge that I botched it up. Nitsa when he's oiled up on stream. Actually, I'd rather have Eternal do nothing curse than have Teddy stick with me. Have Teddy stay with you. He's a very useful party member. 8 Izanagis. Well, I mean, this is the original version, so technically we can only have 2 Izanagis. Izanagi and Izanagi no Akami. And no, having Izanagi no Akami is illegal, though we technically can't actually use them until New Game Plus. So, obviously, the only time we would use Izanagi no Akami is pretty much when we're just about to, well, kick the final boss's ass, pretty much. But at least that's scripted, so it's not going to be a violation of the rules. Urgh. Okay, we'll definitely defeat this so we can get its item. Nice. Okay, and his endurance increased. Good, because that's what we need, his endurance to go up. So level 20, endurance increase. Awesome. And her endurance also increased, as well as her agility, because there's a chance that the Charming Prince can attack her, and Shadow Yukiko can follow up with Augie onto Chie. So having both her endurance and agility go up is definitely very helpful. Rampage. Assault dive. So obviously, she learns a counter at some point. We got to make sure that we beat Shadow Yukiko before Chie learns counter, because if we use counter against Shadow Yukiko, then the run is invalid, because that means we're making use of Chie other than a meat shield. But there we go. We finally got everybody to level 20. So one final look at them. So level 20 on everybody. And as for Izanagi, we got to level 15. He's going to require a crap ton of EXP to level up. And thanks to a suggestion before, we managed to increase his endurance by 2 and his agility by 1. So there is a way of min-maxing Persona stats, so it's not fixed at every level as I thought it was. Though I'm pretty sure the stats that increase at every level for our party members are fixed. At least from what I think. So yeah, now I'm just going to make my way out. I'm not going to use a go home. I'm just going to fight every enemy on my way out, because why not? So I'm just going to fight every enemy on my way out as I make my way out of the dungeon. And I'm going to save, and that'll be the end of the stream. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this stream. And yeah, we're going to end the stream once I get to the entrance and save.
There's only one enemy. Go for a first strike.
So hopefully increasing at least one level on you and Izanagi will tip the scale more in my favor. I think someone finds Teddy unbearable. What's the strategy to get past the Prince phase here? Well, pretty much just use the ice cube that I do have so I can down him. And depending on the chances, there is a chance that I can make him dizzy, though it's not guaranteed. Then after that, I just use a Rakunda or a Tarakaja on you and essentially just use Cleave on him until he eventually goes down. Now, there's no guarantee that he's going to go down to a Cleave or get crit by Cleave, but that does the most amount of damage, and even if I'm wasting my HP, I do have the safety net of Chie and Yosuke's Protect passive, because apparently you unlock their Protect passive at their first rank, and their first rank is automatic, so yeah. Apparently the more less broken of Persona 4 has the ability to have you use their Protect passive at the start of the game. And since we automatically get their first rank of their social link before we do Shadow Yukiko's dungeon, yeah, we essentially have the Protect option from Yosuke and Chie. So while we're fighting the Charming Prince, we could intentionally keep our HP pretty low, because there is a good chance that they will come in and block an attack unless it's AoE damage. Unless it's AoE damage, we can pretty much have that safety net of them coming in and tanking the hit for us, essentially. But essentially, we just use the Ice Cube and use a bunch of cleaves and maybe a Smart Bomb on them, since it's AoE and does 100 damage. And pretty much just take both the Charming Prince and Yukiko down one at a time, and hope I have enough stats, endurance, and the ability to evade at the current levels I'm at, because on attempts while I was at level 19, I was able to get past the Charming Prince. I was able to get past 2/3 of Shadow Yukiko's health, but once she goes for Burn to Ashes, it does AoE damage, and the problem with AoE damage is that the Protect passive is ineffective. So even if I had the Protect passive on Chie and Yukiko, or Chie and Yosuke still at the ready, unfortunately they will not use their Protect passive unless it's singular damage. If it's a singular damage on you, then they will jump in and try to save me. But if it's AoE, they won't jump in and save me. So if I want to make use of their Protect passive, I have to make use of it while the Charming Prince is still alive, essentially. Which is all the more reason why I want to use Cleave near the start of the fight instead of during the last third of Shadow Yukiko. Once I get to the last third of Shadow Yukiko, it's going to be an endurance battle, essentially. But since I increased my endurance by 2, as well as got an extra level to increase the damage scaling, hopefully that extra scale will increase my odds of beating Shadow Yukiko in only a few tries. But I'll be doing that on my own time. I'll be recording that on my own time. I won't be showing it off in the stream. And if I do successfully beat her, then it's probably going to be a long time before you see another stream of this game. Or maybe I may not stream this at all, and it's going to be months before you eventually see a full challenge run done on this game. In fact, I actually started this run months ago, technically, but the reason why I held off on it for so long is because of the RNG chance of the Phantom Mages appearing, because I had to grind 6 items from the Phantom Mages, and that was a pain in the ass, because there was just a high chance that they just would not spawn at all, and yeah, that was just an absolute pain in the ass. Alright, no more enemies on the way out, so I think we're done. I match without him. Naoto was my true ice attacker. I mean, if you make use of her one bike trip, but honestly, I don't make use of her bike trip because that's wasting potential daytime slots I have bonding with social links in the real world, so I just don't use that option. So here we go, we did it. We finally got everybody to level 20 at a save time of over 20 hours? Okay, not over 20 hours yet, but definitely just under 20 hours. Wow. By that time, we should already be at Shadow Kanji's dungeon, but of course we're not. So yeah. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray! Not yet. We gotta make sure we actually beat Shadow Yukiko first. Okay, before we proceed on, I'm just gonna actually make 2 backup saves. Also save on 5. Now what I'm going to do is actually jump into the TV or jump into the castle and actually start off on floor 8. I'm not going to fight the boss itself in the stream. I'm going to end the stream very, very soon here. So we're going to warp to floor 8. So yeah, once again, you have the butterfly that appears at the end of a dungeon, and you can use it to save as well as return to the entrance. So yeah, apparently the less broken version has a broken mechanic of being able to save in the dungeon as well as use a free go home. And people say that Golden was the more broken version. Okay, so there we go. So let me just quickly read your comments since I'm falling behind. When I played Persona 4 Golden, I mainly use Yukiko, Chie, and either Yosuke or Kanji if needed. Plus, the mascot characters are my worst fear, so bye Teddy, I'm more of a cat person. Honestly, use Teddy. Teddy is such a really good party member to have. Use Yukiko, Chie, and Naoto in Persona 4 Golden, so definitely more of a female lover. Mind you, they were actually pretty handy in the last 2 dungeons in the damageless run. I used Chie, Kanji, and Naoto and Yosuke early game, but if I played the game again, then I would use Yukiko instead of Yosuke, then replace with Teddy. Are you going to spend a lot of days grinding in the TV world instead of raising social links? Well, I'm going to be mid-maxing the Fox's social link for sure. I'm going to be mid-maxing the Fox social link, and then prioritize raising my knowledge stat so I can get my knowledge stat as high as possible before exams, while also getting courage and understanding to rank 3, and also getting what is it? What's the other stat? Diligence as high as possible so I can do more fishing. I think you get the warning before the only AoE attack in the fight, right? Burn to Ashes? I don't think so, no. I mean, I think she rotates between using it every 2 or 3 attacks or something like that, but if and when that happens, well, we just gotta hope that we either dodge it or endure it. Hello, I love your videos, so good. Luck on the challenge run. Thank you so much. What about Max and Nanako? We're not. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to just use items, or we're going to use peach seeds to make sure we're full health on everybody, because we're definitely not going to be using peach seeds in the fight. And the only SP recovery I have is Chewing Souls, which we're definitely not going to use. And I'm pretty sure I used every single vending machine drink item in that grind. And yeah, we still have 99 Wonder Claws and 99 Black Clamps, and at least we got more big incensors. That's good. And 1 golden dish. Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. So we just use some peach seeds to restore our HP to full. So here we go. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we're going to be fighting Shadow Yukiko with Izanagi at the same level as Shadow Yukiko. So hopefully that helps with the damage scaling. I don't know if it does. I'm pretty sure it's designed to the protagonist level and not the persona level. We're level 20 with you, Yosuke, and Chie. Now, hopefully being 5 levels over is all we need. Because again, I was quite confident we would be able to beat her at level 19. But you know what? Being level 20 is better than level 19. So I'm going to do attempts against her at level 20 and see if I can beat her. So yeah. SMT Vengeance Run, how's it going? Fine. Ouch, that hurts. In Golden, you always get a warning until the last phase, but I never played this version. Your soul must be crushed. Nah, I still have a soul going. What's your favorite game in the series? I don't know. I don't care. They were fun games. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this stream, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. My next stream will likely be on Final Fantasy 1, my solo Black Mage run. Be sure to check that out if you guys haven't already. Be sure to check my solo Black Mage run of Final Fantasy 1. And I'm simultaneously working on multiple videos at once between Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 10, Metaphor Refantasio, Persona 4 Vanilla, which is the very run that you're seeing right here. And I'm also going to be working on a small video for Death Stranding. And it will be a video that won't give spoilers on the actual game itself. So stay tuned for my Death Stranding video. And please watch it. I want to know that my time making video games on, or making videos on other video games is worth it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next stream when I do Final Fantasy 1. Alright. So yeah, have a good day, goodbye. You all have a good day, good night. It's gonna be a good day, good night. It's gonna be a good day, good night. Alright. Au revoir, adios, you all have a good day. Like, comment, and subscribe, ding the bell, and hype. And watch my other videos. And watch everything that's not just Persona content. And watch Persona content. Watch everything! Okay, goodbye.